I'm Paul Bryant. Welcome to my channel where I help you to discover new and innovative ways to visualize your brand. Today I'm very excited for this new video. It's called The Art of Branding. I just want to give you a few tips on the art of branding, in particular personal branding, that I'm going to help you with. I have about 10 tips, 10 realizations that I want you to hear me out on. And without further ado, let's get started. Number one, you already have a brand. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a mom, a dad, a sister, a brother, you are a walking, talking brand. What do I mean by this? If you realize what a brand is, it's not just a logo or the way a web page looks or a magazine looks, or it's not only visual. Even though this channel specializes in visual branding, that's not all that a brand is. What are you known for? Are you late all the time? If you're late all the time and you're known for being late, that's part of your brand. It's not good branding, but it's still a part of your brand. How do you dress? Do you dress tacky? Do you dress in a suit? Do you dress casual? What do people expect when they know that you're coming? What do they expect to see? That is part of your brand. What is your personality? Are you a straightforward, serious guy? That's part of your brand. Or you're hysterical and funny and zany all the time. That's part of your brand. How do you wear your hair? How do you wear your makeup? What type of glasses do you wear? I switch glasses all the time. I have like 100 different styles of glasses because I love to style, and that's part of my brand. So understand that first and foremost, you already have a brand. Now you need to streamline that to what you want it to be and not what people perceive you to be right now, unless that perception is positive. So remember, you are a walking, talking brand. Number two, what are you passionate about? Now, that doesn't mean that what you're doing right now, you have to be passionate about it. But what it does mean, it's best to connect something you're passionate about with what you are doing. Now, don't get me wrong. When you start a business, entrepreneurship or brand or coaching, whatever it be, it needs to be something you're passionate about. Even if it's a YouTube channel, it needs to be something that you're passionate about, and it needs to resonate within you, for you, so you can have confidence in what you're offering, something that you love. Because if you don't believe in what you're doing, nobody else is going to believe in what you're doing. So make sure you find a way to connect passion with what you're doing. For example, as far as style and fashion and visualization, I love kind of a hippie look, like the coffee shop look. So I incorporate that into my brand visually. My logo is kind of hippie style, even though it's script. I also like the modern look, so I've combined that with my brand so I can be passionate about what I'm doing. And since I'm passionate about branding as a whole, it makes it even easier for me. Make sure you find a way to be passionate concerning what you're doing when it has to do with your brand. Number three, don't be a carbon copy. Now, it's okay to be inspired by other people who inspire you, other business that inspires you, but you don't want to look just like them. You don't want to present yourself just like them. You don't want to just be a carbon copy. If you come to my channel, it doesn't look like any other channel, and that's what you want to be. You want to be different. You want to stand out. You do not want to be like everyone else. So make sure there's something different about you, something attractive, something sparkly. And but what I'm really saying, it doesn't have to be sparkly, but what I'm really saying, don't look like every other brand in your industry. Try to do something different to stand out visually, to stand out mentally, and of course to stand out when it comes to sound, because anytime you're dealing with a brand, sooner or later you're going to have to deal with some type of background music. If it's a YouTube video, some type of opener, some type of title. Make sure you find a way to stand out on your own, so when people see you or see your brand, they think of you. It separates you from everyone else and helps you to be the brand that someone else is interested in, because it's a little different. Number four, study your industry consistently. I myself am always learning about branding, graphic design, visual design, web development. These are all things that I do for my clients. But the industry is constantly changing month by month, day by day, year by year, and you want to continue to study so you know what the trends are. You know what people are looking for right now and not last year. And it's just simple. Study your industry. Continue to educate yourself. If you don't know what you're talking about, and the last time you studied was 2 years ago, you're going to get left behind. Make sure you know the new technology. Make sure you know the new terminology. And make sure you know your industry as an expert. And if you're not an expert today, you can become one. There's enough information online and offline for you to do that. Number 6, make sure what you offer is clear. And when I mean clear, I mean crystal clear. Make sure it's clear on all your artwork, all your branding assets and materials, on your videos. Make sure it's clear. Make sure you have a clear slogan. My slogan is discovering a new way to visualize your brand. It's clear. That's what I do. I help you to discover new ways to visualize your brand. So make sure that's clear. Make sure your offer is clear. Make sure if your slogan doesn't really spell it out, you spell it out with verbiage and text that's shown beneath your slogan. But make sure people know what you represent, what you offer, and what you're all about, and what you're not about. Number 7, brand personality. Now, this is very serious. This is what branding is all about. Because your brand, if you want to say what a brand is in a nutshell, it's your personality. If you own a company, it's your company's personality. If you're a branding coach, it's your personality. For example, who's a good example? I don't want to use myself. Les Brown. You know when you see Les Brown what his personality is. It's going to be upbeat. He's going to always be smiling. He's going to be in high spirits. It's bubbly. You get around him and it makes you feel good. If you're ever where he is, he's going to lift you up. Before he even starts talking, he comes out there, flash that smile. It's on and popping. So make sure you have a clear brand personality. Another good example is Sunny Lisadori. I know I just butchered her name, but I never could pronounce it, but I follow her a lot. I've learned a lot from her. She's always bubbly. She's always inspiring. And the one thing that's also clear about her brand personality, she's not going to leave you hanging out there wondering what she means. She's going to tell you what it is, and then she's going to explain it in a way that you can understand it. Very down to earth. Now, when I say personality, there's different ways to describe personality. For example, most law firms have a corporate personality that's very serious, straightforward, and it's about, we are the law firm. We get it done. And there's usually not any comedy associated with it. I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there that's going to change that if they haven't already. But it's a very corporate-y personality. Serious. It's about getting the job done. And one thing that is for sure, if that's your personality, that's what you need to project as a brand. There are kooky personalities. Do you want to have a kooky or zany personality? That's what you need to start projecting. Not only in how you present yourself, but the graphics and text in your company. Maybe it's more on the fashion and classy side, because of course there's different type of fashion. There's casual and then there's high-end fashion. But if you have a high-end fashion brand and that's what you want to represent and that's what you want to offer, you shouldn't be on the kooky side, because high-end fashion is generally not kooky, especially when we're talking like Prada and things of that nature. So it's all over the place. Sometimes the personality is somewhere in between and very creative, very visual. But you want to be clear on how you present your brand personality, so when they see certain things or certain colors, they think of no one but you. So make sure you make that very, very, very clear. Number 8. Be clear on who your audience is. Now, this one is simple and easy. My main audience used to be hip hop, urban R&B audience. But since I've rebranded and changed my channel, it's a little more broad. They are still part of my audience, but it's a little more broader than that. Is your audience kids or children? Is your audience comic book lovers? Is it people who are into sports? Is it people who are into sports entertainment? Is it people who simply want to learn? Are they high intelligent nerds? Make sure you know who your audience is, because you cannot take your brand and craft it and form it to basically attract your certain audience until you know who they are. Is your audience yourself? That's the easiest one to attract, because you know what you like and you know what you want. And that's where I'm at. My audience is myself. I happen to be a big nerd myself, so that's who I tend to attract. Number 9, piggybacking on number 8. Don't try to sell to everybody. You can't. Walmart doesn't even sell to everybody in their mega business, but you know as well as I know that there are certain type of people who go to Walmart, and there are actually certain type of people who won't ever go to Walmart. They're turned off by it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But don't try to sell to everybody. Don't try to sell to the rich man, the poor man, the woman, the daughter, the sister, the brother, the electronics industry, the art industry, the nerd industry, the wrestling industry. Don't try to sell to everybody. In a nutshell, I'm saying niche down. Find something or audience, specialize in it, stick to it, and you'll be better for it. And finally, number 10. Be inspired by the brands you love. That is okay. If you love my brand, be inspired by it. If you love Target, be inspired by it. Take the good things from there and let it help you to rise higher. If you love certain public speakers or motivational speakers, allow them to inspire you. And make sure they help you to push forward. You know, they can really help you. Certain companies, certain men and women, how they present themselves, because it doesn't have to be a business. It could be an actor, which is a form of business in itself, but you might like how they carry themselves, and you can make that part of your brand. When I say don't be a carbon copy, I mean don't mimic them totally and completely, but be inspired. You know, allow yourself to be inspired, because it's motivational. It helps push you forward. It helps keeps you going. It's all right to look at somebody and say, I want to be like him, or I want to be like her, or I like this about him, and I like this about her, and I want to incorporate that part of what they do into my brand. That's very positive. I love this. So it's okay to be inspired by other brands, other people, other companies, and other entrepreneurs. Well, that's it. That's my top 10. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, hit the bell, and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. And until next time, be visually compelling.